In today's video, we're going to continue the discussion of financial freedom and really talk about the 7 things that keeps most people broke. Now, this isn't to create shame or to be like, oh my God, I'm doing all of these. It's like, let's just change one of these at a time. You'll probably find that you're not making all of these mistakes, but the more of these we are making, the more broke we're going to be. I made all of these. And as I started just improving one thing at a time, my financial life and eventually the rest of my life, because I do believe financial freedom is a pillar and it's like foundational so we can actually buy back our time so we can do things that actually matter to us. So this video is going to be super important. I'm going to cover 7. 6 of them you see on the board. The 7th one is probably the most important. I'm going to mention that at the end of this video. So make sure you stick around to the end of this video. Do like this video, subscribe to this channel if you have not yet already. Now the first one's really obvious. One, they don't make enough money. It's the first thing. When I have a client or when we have a member in our memberships, when I'm just speaking with someone, I'm like, hey, how much money do you make? And can we find a way to increase that revenue if you have a business or pay if you have a job? How can we make more money? How can we create some side hustles? How can we have more coming in? Now, that's not the solution to our problems. I did a video here on the financial freedom machine. I'll post it up here somewhere. A lot of people, they start making more money and their lifestyle starts going up and they get more leaks in the bucket and they take on more debt and they spend more money on cars or houses or boats and they end up really not getting any more financially free than they were when they were making half as much. So this isn't the answer to everything, but it's the first thing we want to look at. Do you make enough? And how can we increase that? And again, watch the video on the financial freedom machine. I'll post it somewhere up here. Number 2, they have no clear financial goal. I mean, if you've read a single page of personal development, you'll know that setting goals is extremely fundamental. It's like we shouldn't even be talking about this. We got to set a financial goal. When I ask most people, how much money do you want to have? How much money do you want to make? They give very generic answers like, I want to make 100 grand a year, or I want $1 million, or I want, $10 million. And there's no rhyme or reason to their answer. It's just a pre-programmed thing that Hollywood or society or parents or educational system just programmed into us. What is success? Exactly what does that mean to you? How much passive income are you creating per month or per year? How much earned income are you creating? How much are you investing? What does your investment portfolio look like? What's it paying you? Oh, okay, you got $1.2 million in an investment portfolio that's paying you 10% for 120 grand a year. What are you doing with the 120 grand a year? Where do you live? What lifestyle do you have? Where's the money going out? Where's it coming in? What does that look like? And I don't think you get the answer overnight. But every single morning, I'm always scribbling in, getting a little more clarity on, yes, my vision for my life, but also my financial freedom vision. What does that look like to me? And there's levels to this game. I don't think the levels stop. If you're growth orientated, there's always another level. So they have no clear, specific goal. I mean, it's so cliche, but it's like a ship leaving harbor with no destination is going to go anywhere but where it needs to go. It's going to end up somewhere. Not there. We need to know where we're going. What are you doing for your family, your kids' education? Are you taking care of your parents? What are you doing with you? What's the exact number? And if you give me, I want to make 100 grand or I want $1 million, I'm like, you haven't thought about it at all. They're comfortable. This was me. And my hand is up. I sometimes get comfortable. I need a kick in the butt. You're like, okay, you increase your income and you invest a little bit and now you're just kind of comfortable. Your bills are paid, you got 3 months of cash in the bank and you get comfortable. You lose the hunger. I find that if I'm money orientated, like the goal is money, I get comfortable very quick. And it's like a depressing state to be in. It's like, I have no motivation. But when it's about people, when it's about helping others, when it's about doing something bigger than yourself, when it's a connection to your vision or your passion or it fuels you, you won't get comfortable. You'll always want to take your mission or your vision or your service to others to the next level. So they get comfortable. They kind of sort of like their job, but it's not really awesome, but they don't hate it. And they kind of make enough money to pay the bills, but not enough to do, and they're comfortable and the risk, that's why the middle class is effed. It is the hardest class to break free from because you're comfortable. You're sitting around and the job is sort of kind of okay and the pay is sort of kind of okay and you live a decent okay house, you drive an okay car, and things are somewhat okay. Just like, that sounds depressing to me and it should to you as well. 4, they buy stupid shit. I'm gonna do a video on this. I went to LA for like a few weeks and I bought some really dumb stuff. Like really dumb stuff, like a belt and a wallet and a watch. And the watch was like a $25,000, stupid stuff. I would not buy that stuff if I couldn't buy like hundreds of them. I would not buy a watch if I couldn't buy 50 of them or 100 of them. I wouldn't buy a car if I can't buy 3 or 4 of them. We buy this stupid stuff because we feel like maybe these name brands or the logos on your freaking belt is gonna make you somebody. You are extremely valuable, you and of yourself. Blank t-shirts, black jeans, nothing on my, you are valuable. All of that stuff doesn't make you. So many people are lost in the delusion or the illusion of they need stuff to like show the world that they're valuable, so they buy very dumb things with it. It's dumb. It's dumb. And the more financially successful people I meet, the more they care less and less about that stuff. The more they spend money on dumb stuff, everything they spend their money on, whether it's a vacation, you might say, but they spent 80 grand to fly private. That's valuable to them. It saves them time. It gets them there faster, and that's valuable to them. And they can write it off from their business. But they're not buying stupid stuff. They're comfortable with who they are. They know they deliver value, and they don't need stupid stuff to fill that gap, that hole, that deal with the emotions behind it. If you're at night, if you're snacking on stuff, deal with the emotions. Don't snack on the stuff. If you're buying stuff on Amazon to fill some void, deal with the void. Don't buy stuff. Brings me to my next point, which is related. They'd rather look rich than be rich. I am telling you, I knew this dude. He sold a company for $1 billion. He like 10x or 20x it. He drove a Prius. He had a nice place out in California. I believe he drove an electric Prius. He didn't care. That dude was he didn't look rich. He was rich, he didn't look rich. And I'm starting to see the more levels I move up and the more people I get around, they'll use things like watches or things. That's why I bought mine. It's like a conversation started. They're playing the game, but they don't care about that stuff. And I do think richness comes from inside. What's your internal world look like? When you wake up, how do you feel? When you go to bed, how do you feel? During the day, how do you feel about yourself? How do you treat others? That's true riches. And most people are they'd rather look rich. And I saw this when I lived downtown, and I thought these people were wealthy. And then I actually get to know people, and they're struggling. They don't have the money. They're working jobs and they're making 60 grand a year. They're stressed about, paying rent. Yet they're going out, buying fancy stuff, going to clubs, spending the money, showing off, trying to be someone they're not. And I think TikTok and Hollywood and social media has just made us value those things more than like building true security, true wealth, and true financial freedom. Easy to get stuck in this. Don't do it. 6, they think in monthly payments. This was huge for me, and this was a big mindset shift for me. Most people, when they want a car, they'll think, hey, how much can I afford per month? And they'll find a car that they can afford the monthly payments on. They do that with a mortgage. They do that with almost anything, and everything is broken down into monthly payments. I understand, and we're programmed, I think, from an early age from that, because we think of like, everything is monthly, everything is bi-weekly. You get paid every 2 weeks and you have these monthly payments. I see so many people going out buying a brand new car for, let's say, 40, 50 grand, 30 grand, whatever that is. They put it on payments. They ask, what can I afford in payments? Oh, your payments are $500 a month. Okay, I can afford that. I'll get the car. They don't think about the maintenance. They don't think about the fuel. They don't think about the insurance. But apart from all that, they buy a car. They drive it for 3 years. They pay all the depreciation on it because that's basically what they're paying for. No, but my interest rate is only 6%. Okay, but you're paying $500 a month. It's going into depreciation because the car depreciates in the first few years. And then they go sell the car and they sell it for 30, or they trade it up and they get 28 for it. And they're burning money. Whereas other people will look at things very, very different. I'm going to do a video on this because we could literally talk 30 minutes on this. But they think monthly payments. They don't think of what can I actually afford? What is the asset worth? Or what is the liability worth? The thing I'm buying is worth? What is it going to be worth when I'm selling it? They're just thinking monthly payments, and they stack up a bunch of monthly payments, and then they end up, well, definitely not free. And that's why when you make more money, it's not always the answer, because we buy more things and we just think, can I afford the monthly payment? Yep. Can I afford the monthly payment? Yep. I did this on the oil rigs. I was making 6 figures. I started buying stuff. It was all monthly payments. Then I realized I can't afford this anymore because I wasn't working on the oil rigs anymore, and ended up losing it. And I was paying for the depreciation of a lot of it because it was brand new. Dumb. Number 7, this is probably the most important, and they don't consistently invest. They invest a little bit here and there when they have a little extra, but they didn't make it just a rule. I would much rather think, what can I invest per month? And I would find the number, $500 a month. Okay, and that is non-negotiable. Every month I invest $500 into whatever asset class or into whatever space or however you do it. I don't care. You're investing $500 a month. That to me is much better than asking, oh, can I afford this car for $500 a month? If you're not investing your money every single month, you can't afford the monthly payment. If you can't buy 3 of them, you can't afford the monthly payment. I literally, when I was shopping for the watch, I was like, whoa, there are places that you can get a Rolex and do like a $600 monthly payment on it. And now people are like, oh, now I can afford the Rolex. No, if you can't buy 3 or 4 of them, like just don't buy it at all. And again, there's some fine details around that because you can turn liabilities into assets, but we won't get into all that in this video. Consistently invest. You'd be amazed at how much a few $100 a month can go if you're consistent with it. Most people aren't. They get excited, they invest for a month or 2, and they invest a lump sum and they don't touch it for 2 years. And then they get a little bit of money they invested, and they don't end up financially free. I've known people who do not make a ton of money. Like, they're not super famous on Instagram, they're not rich, they're not driving the Lambos, none of that. But every single month they're investing a little bit of money. And in 2 or 3 years, they're like, well, I don't have to work anymore. Or I can work part-time, or I can find a job I actually want because I'm getting paid 3-4 grand from my passive income investments. I know someone getting $33,000 a month from their passive income investment. It took them 2 years to build that. That's available to you. So invest consistently. If you like this video, do like it. If anything landed, leave a comment. By the way, we do $100 giveaways every week on Mondays. So if you want to enter into that giveaway on this CryptoLabs YouTube channel, then do leave a comment below. You'll be automatically entered. We have a random name generator that scrubs the YouTube comments and spits us out a winner. And if you like this video, like it. Again, subscribe to this channel. And I'm also going to leave some videos up here. Any video that sort of speaks to you or you feel like you can get some education or learn from it. We're really about education first and then investing second. If you'd like to join our Underdog Investor Group, you can also check that out. The link will be in the description below. And with that said, I'm gonna get out of here. Peace.